Hi, so today we are going to do a quick lesson on how to do window poetry, and that's really the name that I call it. If you Google the name that it technically is, it is called Blackout poetry, and so I'm just going to Google it right now just so you can see an image of what I'm talking about. There's even instructions here. So basically, what we're going to do is we're going to take a page of text with words on it, but not just any words. We are going to take a page of words from last week's open document. So if I go into the open doc for last week, everybody was tasked with making a word list from chapter 4 and words that stood out to them or resonated with you. And what I did is I highlighted everything that you guys wrote collaboratively into the open doc. And very cool, I put it into this. And so this is what you have linked to your weekly assignments one pager for this week in your window poem assignment. And so it looks like a bunch of words just strung together, doesn't make sense. It's just words on a page, but they're your words. These are words that you created in your open doc, and I copied everybody's together and I dumped them into this frame. Now, you are tasked with creating this window poem. And what is a window poem? Let's go back to what I found online, which is exactly what we're doing. I'm just calling it a window poem. You want to scan the page of words first to understand what collectively the theme is that you found as a group, as a class. And then you want to just choose certain words that jump out to you and mean something to you as you read. And so what I did in my own example, right? I read this, I noticed that there were words that stood out to me as I'm reading it. I want to, if I want this to show, okay? Fury quivered through every vein. And I really don't want anything else to show but this, that I'm going to highlight everything and I'm going to click this highlighting color marker and I'm going to click the black color. So look, everything is highlighted out so I can't see it except for the one piece that I want my audience to read. And then I find the next piece that I want my audience to read. And maybe it's class differences, right? And I'm going to marker out everything that stands between them. So I'm bringing to the front and center the words or phrases that I want to stand out. I am creating my own poem with my own ideas from the found, so I'm finding it in the text. So sometimes this is called like found poetry as well. You are finding the phrases and the words that you want, and you can even put them in a certain order. So look, this is what I did this morning. And basically, I'm trying to create my new idea, my new poem from the words that I found in your collaborative text writing. And so I did some things a little bit different to make this stand out. And one thing you can see is right here. I just kind of moved the other words back to where this one had more space. So maybe I want to space them out even more. And then I highlighted these words and I put them, instead of being on the side, I clicked the center icon. I put them in the center. And then I really wanted them to stand out. So I highlighted them again and I went to the highlighting color and I chose yellow. I could have said, no, I want green, whatever, but I'm making this my own and I decided yellow highlighting. And then I finished my poem. It actually went a little bit beyond the page there, but I really wanted people to see these particular words in making my own poem. But this wasn't good enough for me. I really wanted this to stand out even more. So I highlighted with my cursor the entire box, the entire frame. So see how it's highlighted? And I went here to this paint can and I clicked on it for background color. I really wanted the background color to be purple. So this is what it looks like now. And say I want to do other things to it. Let's say I don't want all this black marker, so I might decide I want to highlight this and make this, go to my highlighting color, red. The problem is that the text shows through at the bottom, so I'm going to just make this also red text. So right now you see the red highlighting. So if you didn't want it to be black, you would have to choose the color. Say I want it to be green, but then you also have to make the text green as well. So you go to this little A to change the text color. So it doesn't really matter exactly how it looks. You don't need the background, but you do want the words that you see front and center to jump out to you. So my poem would obviously start with the phrase class differences, and then I go crossfire, poor side thug, you know where I'm from, climbing higher, untroubled, end of fear, no monsters, safe. Oh, you'll get over eventually. I, oh, you'll get over it eventually, I accepted. 2 principal languages, 2 skin tones, and 2 cultures, label, envisioned, combat with myself, alone, a deep stillness. I've never read anything close or similar to it, only see the image with words. So that's my poem that I created. And where did I get it from? I got it from the actual writing from your open doc last week. So I think this is an awesome assignment. If you need particular instruction around the assignment or would like to do it a different way, contact me. You could do it the traditional way, and the traditional way means by on paper, right? So if you do it on paper, you're basically asking for mail or something that your family isn't using anymore, like a piece of mail or perhaps a magazine or even like an advertisement that you get in the mail. And you're basically boxing out, you would box out like this, the words that you want to jump out, and then behind it you would shade all the words that you don't want. So it begins with boxing out the words you do want. If you want to create images behind or next to your boxed out words, you would draw those first. Let's see if she has some. These are just notes that students took when they were, so here it is after it's finished. So again, it starts like this, where the words are just boxed out, and this person wanted this illustration or drawing here, so you would draw anything you want on the page. You draw that first, and then here is what it looks like in the end. They just took a marker and got rid of everything in between, and then here is the new poem, which I think is really beautiful. So if you do it that way, and then here's the actual poem. If you do it that way, you don't necessarily need to work with the same words that that we did last week from our open doc, although I think it's pretty cool to create different poems out of the text that is our collaborative thinking from the open doc. But you can choose to just take any piece of writing that you have at home, maybe from your backpack. In that case, you'll do it this way, and you can look back to this video, but you'll do it this way. So text me or call me if you have questions and we can work it out. If you do choose to work on it with words that are on a piece of paper, just take a photograph of it and text me the picture of your final product. But if you're doing it digitally with our words from the open doc, when you're finished, don't forget to title your poem. So maybe I would title it No Monsters Here, Safe. Just because those were some ideas that I had. And I feel so great because I just created poetry and it's awesome. And I hope you feel that way too. And I cannot wait to read your poems.